This is part 6 of a series, Window Functions in SQL Server. Seeing across rows without losing them, including the running totals bug that quietly doubles numbers on real reports, and that looks completely correct until someone actually checks the math by hand. If you've ever needed to rank rows within a group, calculate a running total, or compare a row to the one before it, all without collapsing your data down to one row per group, this video is exactly that answer. And it's focused specifically on how SQL Server implements all of this. By the end, you'll have a genuinely useful mental model for when to reach for a window function instead of group by, and a handful of real bugs to watch for along the way. Quick recap. Part 4 was group by and aggregations. Part 5 was subqueries and CTEs. Part 6, window functions. Group by is genuinely powerful, but it has one hard limitation baked into how it works. It collapses rows. The moment you group, you lose every individual detail row, you're left with just the summary. Window functions solve the exact question group by cannot. How do I rank, total, or compare rows against each other, while keeping every single original row completely intact? That's the entire subject of this video. Let's start with a genuine question group by simply cannot answer on its own. What's the top-selling product in each category, along with its actual order details? The tempting approach, select category, and the max of revenue, grouped by category, technically runs, but it forces you to collapse every row down to just a category and a number. You lose the product name, the order ID, literally everything else about that top-selling order. The fix is a window function. It ranks or aggregates rows relative to each other without collapsing anything at all. Every original row and every original column survives completely intact. So, formally, what is a window function? It's a calculation performed across a set of related rows, the window, without merging those rows into one. Here, we're calculating each customer's total spend using SUM with over partition by customer ID. Every window function needs that over clause. Partition by defines the window itself, functioning like group by, but critically, without collapsing any rows. Or by, when you use it, defines the sequence calculations happen in, which matters enormously the moment you start working with running totals or rankings. Let's look at row number, probably the single most commonly used window function in practice. It assigns a unique, sequential number to every row inside the window. Here, we're numbering each customer's orders, partitioned by customer ID, ordered by order total descending. The numbering restarts fresh at 1 for every single new customer ID. That's specifically what partition by accomplishes here, versus a plain order by which would just number straight through the entire table with no resets at all. Now, a genuinely important distinction, row number versus rank versus dense rank. They behave identically right up until 2 rows tie on the same value, and then they diverge in ways that actually matter for your results. Take order totals of 100, 100, 90, 80. Row number gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, always unique, arbitrarily breaking the tie between the two matching hundreds. Rank gives you 1, 1, 3, 4, ties share a rank, but the next rank skips ahead, jumping straight to 3. Dense rank gives you 1, 1, 2, 3, ties share a rank too, but the next rank does not skip at all. Taking the wrong one silently changes what counts as, say, your top 3 results. Now, the actual bug this video is built around, and one that has genuinely shipped in real dashboards before anyone noticed. The request, a running total of revenue by date. Here's the version that looks completely correct. Select order date, order total, and the sum of order total using order by order date as running total. It reads naturally, it compiles without any error, and it is a genuine trap. If even 2 orders happen to share their exact same order date, SQL Server's default frame sums them together identically on both rows. Here's precisely why, without an explicit frame, order by alone defaults to range between unbounded preceding and current row, which treats every row sharing that same order date as one single combined peer group. 2 same-day orders each show the exact identical total, which is not a genuine running total at all. It's silently wrong, and it will pass every casual glance at their output, right up until someone tries to reconcile it against the actual bank deposit for that day. Here's the fix, and it's honestly just 2 extra lines. Same query, but now with the frame spelled out explicitly instead of left to SQL Server's default behavior, order by order date, then order ID as a tiebreaker, rows between unbounded preceding and current row. Rows counts actual physical rows, not values that happen to tie, so each individual order gets its own genuinely distinct running total, even when two orders share the exact same date. The habit worth building: always add a tiebreaker column, like order ID, to your order by to make the entire sequence fully deterministic, and always spell out rows explicitly for any running total, never rely on the default. Partition by deserves its own moment, because it's what lets a window function reset per group. The request here: a running total of revenue restarting fresh for each category. We add partition by category alongside the order by and the explicit rows frame we just covered. Partition by is to window functions what group by is to aggregate functions, except the individual rows never disappear. Electronics and apparel each get their own completely independent running total, calculated side by side, in a very same result set, with nothing collapsed. LAG and lead solve a different, very common problem, comparing a row to its neighbor. How does this month's revenue compare to last month's? LAG of monthly revenue, with an offset of 1, ordered by order month, pulls the previous row's value directly into the current row, no self-join required at all. Subtract that from the current month, and you've got your month-over-month change in a single pass over the data. LAG looks backward, lead looks forward, and both just pull a value from a neighboring row. Let's go back and actually solve the exact problem we opened this video with: top n per group. We wrap a CTE from part 5 around a row number from earlier in this video, partitioned by category, ordered by revenue descending, then simply filter the outer query for rank less than or equal to 3. 1 CTE, 1 window function, and you get the top 3 products in every single category, with every original column, product name, order ID, everything still fully intact. Let's be precise about the core conceptual difference between window functions and group by, because this is genuinely the single idea underlying this entire video. Group by collapses rows, you get exactly 1 output row per group, and every individual detail row is gone for good. A window function preserves rows. You get exactly the same number of output rows you started with, just with a new calculated column added alongside the originals. If your row count changed after running a query, it was group by at work, not a window function. One more genuinely useful window function worth knowing: NTILE, for bucketing rows into a set number of equal-sized groups. Split our customers into 4 equal-sized spend quartiles. NTILE of 4, ordered by total spent descending. Quartile 1 becomes your top spending 25% of customers. Quartile 4 your bottom 25%. Genuinely useful for segmentation, loyalty tiers, and targeted marketing campaigns, all without writing a single manual bucketing rule by hand. Let's cover the mistakes worth watching for. First, forgetting order by inside your over clause when ranking. Without it, row number and rank sign numbers in a genuinely undefined order, rerun the exact same query twice and you can get 2 different answers. Second, trusting the default running total frame, the bug from earlier in this video. Always spell out rows between unbounded preceding and current row explicitly. And third, confusing partition by with group by. Partition by never reduces your row count. If your row count changed after running a query, that was group by doing its job, not a window function. Let's walk through a genuine capstone query combining everything from this video. The request: top 3 products per category, plus each product's share of that category's total revenue. First CTE, category sales, aggregates revenue per category and product using group by. Second CTE, ranked products, adds 2 window functions at once: row number partitioned by category for the ranking, and a percentage of category calculation using SUM partitioned by category as the denominator. The final select filters down to rank 3 or better, ordered by category. 2 clean CTEs and 2 window functions, answering a business question that would be genuinely painful to express any other way. So here's the takeaway. Group by collapses rows. Window functions don't have to, and that single distinction unlocks an entire category of business questions that group by alone genuinely cannot answer. Rank, total, and compare rows against each other, while every single one survives in your results. Always spell out your frame explicitly for running totals. Don't trust the default. Know the real difference between row number, rank, and dense rank before a tie in your data forces you to learn it the hard way, in production, at the worst possible time. And remember, Partition by never deletes a row that's grouped by job, not this one. These patterns show up constantly once you move past basic reporting, ranking, running totals, and period-over-period comparisons are some of the most requested calculations in any real business, and now you've got a solid foundation for all three. Next up in this series, indexes and query performance, why the exact same query can run instantly on one system and agonizingly slowly on another. Thanks for watching.